What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about two coins in this video. We're going to talk about Mudang and Nitro, both meme coins. Mudang at the request of RVB Ball, and Nitro at the request of Abdallah. Abdallah, I meant to make that in the Toshi video, but I totally forgot. I just ended it. I'm not going to forget this time. I promise I'm not going to forget this time. I'm going to leave a mark so that I remember. I'm just going to put this right here. That way I don't forget. Okay, right there. Perfect. Okay. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, you guys. Mudang here at 24 cents. Now I'm going to hurt some feelings in this one. RVB Ball, don't hate me, okay? And nobody who's investing in Mudang hate me either, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't believe Mudang will make you a millionaire this cycle. It's not going to pull a Dogecoin move. I know this is Doge-like. That was crazy mania madness. From May 6th to May 13th, you literally pulled a 9x, almost a 10x move. From April 7th, from the low that the whole market had, you did a 16x in the same time that most of the market couldn't even put up a 60% pump. Crazy. Still, as of now, you're sitting at about an 11x, 11.6x. Very, very phenomenal recovery overall. If you timed this low, if you bought around this low, you're probably sitting very pretty right now. Even if you bought before this last pump, you're doing pretty well. But meme coins are meme coins. There's nothing really going for them, right? It's just a meme coin. The thing that goes for them is you get in, you make money, you get out. You get in, you lose money, and then you get out. And then you wait, and then it goes up without you, and you could have made money, or at least not lost as much money. So then you get back in, and then you lose money. And then you don't get out, and then you lose more money. That's that's kind of how it is, right? I do believe that Mudang continues to grow. I do believe that it has more growth in it, but I don't believe you're going to see a move like this again, right? That was a one-off. If you do, man, something's going on here that I'm unaware of, and maybe, but anybody in the comments who's saying Mudang has a strong community, take that community and shove it up your investments, man, because that really does not matter, right? Strong community helps. It helps. It definitely does help, but that's not what matters, right? It doesn't matter if you have a strong community. Strong community, all you're telling me is this thing moved up. It pumped a lot. So now you have a lot of people who believe in it because it pumped. Strong community, to me, oftentimes equals pump chasing or bag holding. It doesn't really mean anything outside of that, right? So I don't really care. It's nice. It's nice to have a strong community, and it can set you apart. Don't get me wrong, especially whenever it comes to meme coins, it can definitely set you apart. But it can only take you so far. That's the main point that I'm trying to address here. Okay, it can only take you so far, and right now it's taking you pretty damn far. It definitely has, right? Because only a strong community could bring you back to life after a massive onslaught to the downside. From a high to a low, you dropped overall 97%. Only a strong community could give you some kind of recovery, and recover you have, right? But you're finding support now at the golden ratio after breaking above it. Finding support. This is a very strong configuration to be in. It does promote growth. It does suggest that we're going to go higher. So I think you do. Looking at the daily RSI, we are in a situation where we're rejecting the overbought zone. That's not ideal. And it's okay if you are rejecting the overbought zone. It's okay if you come down a little bit lower. Maybe you do go down to the golden ratio and bounce again. Maybe you even go down to the 0.5 and you bounce there, whatever. You can definitely see a lower low from here, and that's okay. At this moment in time, I would not anticipate that you go below this low, but just looking at the daily RSI, I would expect that you go to lower prices from here, right? You're at 23.9 cents now. I doubt that you stop here. I would think that you go a little bit lower just based on the daily RSI. The only way to change that would be if today flips around and you can close today green. If you close today green, that'll invalidate this rejection here and potentially set you up to get into the overbought zone again, where you can make your next run, get a lower high in your RSI, set yourself up for some bearish divergence, and then maybe that's where the downfall happens for Mudang here. I don't know, right? If anybody's identifying this as a bull flag, it might be a bull flag, but that might get you in trouble. If it is a bull flag, you'd be measuring it like this and thinking, oh, Mudang is going to move all the way up to $1.81. And it might. You have targets up here. The 1272 lines up very well with that, but don't get too excited for that, right? Most meme coins, whenever they see price action like this, where they pump and they drop and they bottom out, they round off, and then they pump back, most of the time they don't see new all-time highs, or if they do, they're only slightly higher all-time highs, right? Most of the time they don't. And the reality is you could stop Mudang at about 47 cents, maybe between there and 70 cents, and that could be it. That's it for the rest of its life. It'll never come back to those prices, those highs. You know what I mean? It'll have its pumps here and there because of the community, but it won't be enough to push it to higher prices. Maybe not. What's Mudang's market cap at right now? Let's see. Mudang. $239 million. Is this the right one? It has to, wouldn't it be this one? Mudang. What price? Let's just see like this. How about this? We're at 23.9 cents. What are you at here, Mudang? 23. Okay, so this is the one right here, yeah. $237 million market cap. Fully diluted valuation is appropriate. Yes, volume is on high. I don't like that so much, but that's okay. You can have absurd volume in times like this, apparently. If Mudang was to go higher, being at $237 million now, if the higher prospect in question was $1.82, could you see that? I mean, that's about a 7.6x, 7x on 100 or 230. What is that? 16 million, or sorry, 1.6 billion. 1.6 billion, somewhere around there, 1.6, 1.7 billion dollars. Yeah, you could see that. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying I'm skeptical to call any new all-time highs for any meme coin, right? Even Mudang, right? I am skeptical, but it is on a lot of exchanges. That's a benefit, right? This could give it some room to run, and $1.6 billion is not all that high, right? You can definitely grow for any meme coin. You can see a higher market cap than that, especially a prominent one. You know, by the end of the cycle, maybe you do achieve something as high as, I don't know, $15. Maybe you see something as high as $23. You could still 100x from here. You know, 100x for Mudang would be $23 billion in market cap, and that is attainable. But I'm skeptical if you get there, right? I don't know. The only reason I'd give it that you could get there is that you have exposure on exchanges. You're not listed on Binance, so maybe a Binance listing could bring that about. But you do have perpetuals on Binance. You do have the futures and stuff like that, apparently, so you can do trading anyways. You know, your max potential by the end of the cycle for Mudang might be $15 to $23. Might be, right? But it could just as well be where it already is, and then you roll over. So it's kind of hard to see. I want to see what you do over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of, I would say weeks, but by the end of May, by the end of June especially, and that'll really help determine if you're going to see new all-time highs, or if you're going to go to that 15 to whatever dollar price. $15 to $25 price by the end of the cycle. If you're not above these highs, if you can't see new all-time highs and it's the end of June, understand Mudang is probably done for the cycle. If we could see new all-time highs by the end of June, whether it's at $1.80 or higher, then I have faith in this thing. But it's too hard to say right now, right? Looking at the daily RSI, looking at it right here, it looks bullish. You're in a relatively bearish phase, so I'm assuming you go down. If we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, yes, it looks like you want to go down a little bit, and that's okay. But how much lower are you going to go? You know, you pumped up a lot. You could really, if anybody thinks that that's the low and you can't go lower, you could, while the rest of crypto moves up, you could move down. It could be the end of May. It could be a whole nother week from now. You're moving down, and then finally start moving up again with the rest of crypto at the end of the month, and it's just a lower high, and you keep moving down. You know what I mean? You saw a big pump. This bull flag, if it is a bull flag, it might not be finished. I'm just saying, who's to say that you can't go lower? I wouldn't be surprised at all if you saw prices below this. My expectation for Mudang is that we would go down to at least 15 cents before moving higher. You're at 23.8 cents now. 1 hour time frame looks bearish. 4-hour time frame looks bearish. Daily time frame looks bullish, but with a bearish tilt to it. Okay, rejecting the overbought zone. Typically, you do bounce off the 50 or off the 40 if you're looking to go up higher. So being here, this would imply that you have days worth of decay to go, probably, unless it's intense. And with that, I would assume that you do see a 15-cent price. You'll find support where you found resistance here, where you found resistance here, where you found support here, where you found support back here, where you found resistance back here, something around 15 cents to 16 cents, somewhere in that zone. That's the expectation. And then we can talk about moving higher, okay? Weekly RSI isn't giving us a whole lot because it's brand new. What I can say is if you close this week red, you're rejecting the overbought zone, and that's not a good look either. And a lot of this would coincide with the idea that maybe this was just a relief rally and nothing more. You never know, right? So I'm not. If it feels like I'm back and forth, what are you saying, C-Zar? Is Mudang going to $20 or is it going to $0? I don't know. Welcome to my world. We're figuring it out, right? But I do know that by the end of June, if you're not at new all-time highs, nope, you're not going to see them this cycle, man. This thing's done. So make some movements by the end of June, at least. That's what we need to see. Let's talk about Nitro, right? Hit the like button and subscribe if you were just here for Mudang, right? Nitro is not on anything. Let me see. Nitro, no, you can't really do that. So let's do Dex Screener. Dex Screener right here. Nitro. Nitro, like turbo. It's on Ethereum. 24-hour volume. Very, very low market cap, very low volume. Yeah. Not an ideal amount of volume, but it's fine. You know, you're probably being boring right now, so we'll give it to you. We'll excuse you. Let's see. Oh, wow. No, you're not being boring. You're being exciting, and you're not getting a whole lot of volume. Maybe it's not represented properly. Let's see. Nitro. Let's see. Nope, it is low volume. Very low volume for a day that's up 36%. It's ideal. It's somewhat ideal. I would just like to see more, but I guess it's fine. It's not. I shouldn't say very low volume. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just picky. Consolidating here for a long time. You've broken out only recently, seeing new all-time highs. You probably don't stop here. You probably don't. You'd go to 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 2. You're at 4 zeros, 1, 2 right now, so you're on your way to 4 zeros, 2, right? That's probably the path that you're going on. Your RSI looks good on the daily, yes. Yes, it does. Bearish divergence, yeah. I mean, it looks like bearish divergence until it doesn't. Watch you go all the way up to the 1272. You'll take out that bearish divergence. You'll get a higher high in the RSI, and that's where you drop, right? I'm very confident you go up to 4 zeros too. That's where you're going to go, man. 4-hour time frame looks bullish as well. Yeah, looks good. Good. 1-hour time frame, also good. So yeah, I think you're moving up. I'll tell you what, if it's like 3 days from now and you're still in this area, or it's 3 days from now and you've only gone lower, right? Probably get out, because it probably will drop down, because at that rate you'd be lowering yourself in the daily RSI and you would have bearish divergence. But if you're moving up, I mean, if today or tomorrow you're at this area, I would expect you find resistance right there at 4 zeros 2. You probably pull back to around this area, maybe a little bit lower, find some support, and then continue to run, right? Get a higher low in this kind of area and then continue to run. It's not in me to assume that any move up is done at its minimum target. I don't think that you're going to be done here. I just think you'll find resistance there, and you might reject from that area immediately by the end of the month. You know, you might come up here and then come down, and then it's the end of the month and you're starting to recover again. Who knows? But I would think that ultimately, you know, you don't stop here. You just continue there immediately, today or tomorrow or the next day, 4 zeros 2, and then ultimately within the next week or 2 or 3, 4 zeros 5 is probably where you go, I would think. If not higher, absolutely you could go higher. But we'll see how it goes. I don't really have anything else that I want to say on this one. It looks bullish. It does look good. Looks like it wants to continue to grow. Does it have as much potential as Mudang? Does it have more potential? I don't know. You know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's at a lower market cap, so that gives it more potential there already. But is it as relevant? Will it see relevance? You know, Turbo's doing well, so Nitro might do well. I don't know. Volume's coming in, but can it maintain? That's the question. So I do believe you go higher. We'll see what happens afterwards. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here.